Doesn't look like that's gonna work today. Something went wrong on the server. Try again. Okay, I'll just go back here. All right. Still having trouble with this. Okay. I will wait a few minutes to see if any other people join in. Oh, shit. Uja, do it for tuning in. Uja. All right. All right. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in, and welcome to tonight's edition of Ancient African Adorations, where we're following the Neterian calendar of holy days. And here's my calendar, and I've already put in my order for a new one. You can see I've been doing lots of writing for this week. This is the week called the Festival of HetHeru, and it's 6 or 7 days depending on which calendar you're following. And during the Festival of HetHeru, we remember the time when HetHeru had traveled to Nubia. She was Ra asked her to do this, to go to Nubia and illuminate the unrighteous, and then she got so caught up in her job that she started illuminating the righteous as well. And so we got together on the 4th or the 5th for that, and then now we're starting the time when she's heading back to Kemet. And this is the time where Jehuti has been sharing his wisdom teachings with her. So during this week, each night we're going to study a different aspect of the parables of Jehuti. And I've been following them in this book, The Goddess Book by Dr. Maud Ashby, and I'm pretty sure it's also in the text for the Glorious Light Meditation. So what we've been doing is, instead of just reading the entire text, I have paraphrased it and have some music, and then I play the music while I also read the summary. So that's what we're going to be doing today. On page 16, you have the first parable, 16 and 17. And then tomorrow we have the wisdom of the origins, creation. And then the second, third, fourth parable, and conclusion. All right. And if you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the box, chat box. Puja, do it for tuning in. Okay, so we got a little schedule here. So we have a few chants that we offer before reading from the HetHeru. Looks like we have a comment there. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. Tonight is music night. And if you have a question, you should post it in the comments in one of my previous posts, and then I'll make a video. And soon I'll be doing another video of just readings. But for now, please just leave your question in the comments of one of the other videos. Tonight is music. Thank you for tuning in, though. So we have a few chants that we offer before reading from the wisdom teachings. Nebuchadnezzar, the all-encompassing, all-embracing divinity that pervades all and is all, that came forth in the form of Kepra, the creator, and then also came forth as the form of Asar, the divine soul. And here's another Hekal. This one is for Nebuchadnezzar. Mabu Nemu Nemu Mabu Nemu Nemu. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. When you know Nebuchadnezzar, you know everything. When you When you know Nebuchadnezzar, you know everything. When you know Nebuchadnezzar, you know everything. Yeah. All right. Oh. Oh, yep. Let me read the translation first. This is a song called Adorations, and it's usually offered in the morning. It's the opening prayer for the Kemet book of Coming Forth by Day. Adorations to Ra when he rises in horizon eastern. Homage to Ra, coming forth as Capital, creator of the gods and goddesses. Rising thee, shining thee, lighting up thy mother. Rising as Lord, king of the gods and goddesses. Your mother Nut does an act of worship to you with both arms. Manu, the western horizon, receives thee in peace, and Ma'at embraces thee at the double season perennially. And this is taken from the prayer book from the Chateau Neter Temple of Aset by Dr. Mwada Ashby. Dude, I kept doing F in my kitchen, didn't it? On the test, I ATM, capital, came on, Neteru. Kake, Uben, K, Pessid, Mood, K. KTM, Suten, Neteru. Itty neck, Mood, Aniyam, Itty Nini. Manu, and Matep, to my Ateta. Dude, I kept doing F in my kitchen, didn't pay. On a test, I ATM, capital, came on, Neteru. Kage, Uben, K, Pessid, Mood, K. KTM, Suten, Neteru. Itty neck, Mood, Nut, Aniyam, Itty Nini. Manu, and Matep, to my Atata. A little sip of tea. Uja. Greetings, Uja. Yes, I see that someone else has asked a question, Zeta and Grace. Please post your questions in the comments of one of my videos I've already posted. Tonight is music night. I know it says chat, but tonight is music night. Stay. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to chants for HetHeru. This is going to be challenging. Yeah, I'm going to have to buckle down and get one of those stands. Okay. Alright, and I'm using a sistrum. that shows the upper chakras, and the heart chakra has the image of HetHeru right there. If you can see it there. And right there is that image of HetHeru and the 3 upper chakras. And when you play the sistrum, it is said it eliminates chaos. So this is Dua HetHeru Netrita, and this is another hekau from the Temple of Shatau Neter. Dua HetHeru Netrita. 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 Okay, now if you're so inclined, you can do a call and response where I'll say the line one time and then you will repeat after me. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Dua HetHeru Netrita. Tap. So I don't know if you've noticed, but in the image behind me on the wall hanging, it's the image of the goddess HetHeru. See if you can see there. Okay. All right. Now we're going to jump into the myth. Let me get all set up for this. And like I said during the introduction, this is a summary of the myth. And you can find the full myth in African Religion Volume 4, The Goddess Book by Dr. Maud Ashby. So I'm going to start with, and I don't have a page turner, so I'm going to have to pause every now and then and turn the page. Looks like there's another comment. I'm doing wonderful this evening. Thank you for tuning in. What language am I singing in? Oh, good question. I'm so sorry about this, TikTok. The language that I'm singing in is called the Medu Neter, and it's the not traditional, the indigenous or original language of ancient Kemet. It means sacred word. And it's the language of the hieroglyphs. And yeah, that's the language it is. It's Neterian, ancient African Egyptian, the Medu Neter. Okay. Right. So here we go. Hello. Oh, let me just give a better introduction in case you weren't here last time. Well, let's start at the beginning. So like I said, HetHeru was sent to the earth to eliminate the unrighteous, and when she got there, she enjoyed her job so much that she began killing the innocent. And so Lord Jehuti, which represents the cosmic mind, or divine intelligence, divine intellect, came to earth in the form of a baboon and told HetHeru, who was in the form of a lioness, goddess Sekhmet, her lioness form, and, like blood dripping from her mouth, licking her paws, ready to kill the baboon as soon as she saw it. But Lord Jehuti was so charming, he told her these 4 parables, plus the wisdom of creation, and she was able to remember who she is, remember her true divinity, her identity, and return to the state of HetHeru. And so we can learn from the journey of the Neters, because it's our journey. And I don't know about you, but there's times, not so much as it used to be, but there's times when I call spiritual amnesia, when I have forgotten my divinity and I had to use different tools and techniques to bring me back to my awareness. That's why I love this story. And that's why they say HetHeru is the great goddess, because she was able to, remember her true identity. So she's considered the great goddess, HetHeru Neterita. So this is, like I said, a summary of the myth by Dr. Rod Ashby. His translation. So this is a summary of his translation put to music. Hello, beautiful daughter of the sun. Think about the parable. The vulture and the wildcat. Mommy suffered because of the actions of the chick and the kitten. Two mothers with chicks and kittens were afraid to leave them alone because they might get eaten. So they made a truce. They swore an oath not to kill the other's child. And this worked for a while. One day, a baby chick snatched away some of the food for the kitten. Of course, one of the kittens struck out and injured a chick. Now the injured chick, it could not fly, but it had the strength to tell a lie. And the baby vulture said, you have broken the oath between our families, and Ra will punish you for this great injustice. When the vulture got home, she assumed the worst, that the wildcat had broken her promise. So when the wildcat left to go hunting for food, the vulture came and killed all of the kittens and brought them home to be eaten by her chicks. When the wildcat returned of this tragedy, she learned, and she cried out to Ra for justice. Oh, divine one who upholds justice and righteousness, punish the evildoer who has broken the oath which was sworn upon your name. Ra heard her plea and set the plan in motion to carry out the punishment for this transgression. And then one day, as the vulture was out hunting, she came upon a campfire. The piece of meat that was cooking, yet no one was there. She swooped down and snatched the meat and carried it home for her chicks to feast. Yet she was unaware, smoldering cold, as she dropped the meat into the nest and caught fire and all the chicks burned to death. The mother wildcat yelled out, "You killed my children and now Ra's punished you." Oh, glorious Lady HetHeru, do you see the omniscience and the justice of Ra, who sees and hears all things? He is the giver of life, and all things owe its existence to him. His justice is perfect. All praises be to him, and praises be to you who are his daughter. Oh, divine lady, I bring you offerings of divine food from the abode of the sun. It brings health and joy to all who eat it. Do a HetHeru, do a Jehuti. So that is a musical rendition of the first parable And let's see, where's the other page? This parable. All right, so now I'm going to have a few readings. Oh, looks like there was another question. Oh, no, that was it. It was a language, okay? All right, so Divine Food from page 48 of the Glorious Light Meditation book by Dr. Wada Ashby. Quote, here's a quote. The teacher offers humility and honesty with beguiling wit, cheerfulness, and an uplifting outlook. This is symbolized by the divine food Jehuti offered HetHeru. The teacher brings divine food in the form of wisdom teachings, which uplift the mind by relieving the burdens of pain and sorrow, which weighs down the soul of a human being due to ignorance and negativity. The divine food is the taste of divine glory. It is a glimpse of the goal which a disciple must aspire to experience in its fullness. However, this fullness is experienced in degrees as the teacher gives the spiritual teaching and as it is assimilated by the student. Do say by Ma and do say by Ja. Uja, do it for tuning in. And now, about HetHeru, Goddess HetHeru, and this is from page 61 of the Glorious Light Meditation book. It is notable that HetHeru was a vicious beast when she was in the state of dullness and agitation, but then she reverted back to her true form when she became gentle, kind, and calm. This points to the fact that the source of ugliness and negativity within the human personality lies in the state of mind which a person adopts. The mindset which a person adopts is in accordance with their level of spiritual evolution. Therefore, ignorance and greed, selfishness, jealousy, conflict, frustration, and violence. On the other hand, serenity and lucidity of mind lead to the expression of peace, gentleness, compassion, love, and other virtuous qualities in one's personality. Now, just a little reflection on that. I remember not too long ago when I was looking for things that would, take me to that state, serenity, lucidity of mind, lead to expression of peace, gentleness, compassion, love, and other virtuous qualities in one's personality. And now I am able to take more responsibility and start the process within. There are still things that I do that can calm me down or lead to peace and the other wonderful qualities, virtuous qualities. How like meditation, breathing, chanting, those kind of things can shift your vibration from within, and then you can radiate that outward rather than trying to, attract it to you or have something change you. So to me, that's what this story of HetHeru represents. She heard the wisdom teachings and she was able to bring herself back. Now, you have to also keep in mind the wisdom teachings also represents the cosmic mind. So it's not just something from outside of us. It's something that we receive inside. And that's what allows us to change our state from dullness, agitation to enlightenment. And the third reading, page 98 from the Egyptian Book of the Dead by Dr. Wada Ashby. It's also called the Book of Coming Forth by Day. HetHeru means the house of Heru, the god of light. She represents the power of Ra, the Supreme Spirit. Therefore, associating with her implies coming into contact with the boundless source of energy which sustains the universe. Therefore, making contact with her implies developing inner willpower and vitality which engenders identity of visions, that will lead to the discovery of what is righteous and what is unrighteous. Looks like we have a question. That is so true. That is so, so true. We are the universe experiencing itself as humans. Yes, I totally resonate with that. In fact, the chant that I open up with, Om Nebajur Kapara Asar Om, reflects that Nebajur is the universe and comes forward in the form of Kapara, which creates the world, universe, and then Nebajur comes forth as Asar, as a divine soul that goes through the journey of creation, goes through the journey of life. So Dua for sharing that. Alrighty. So, by the way, this week's offerings, since there's one like every day for 6 days, they're not as long as some of the other ones have been. So we just have a little bit more to go. So this is from Volume 3, page 118. I'm not sure what that is. Verse G. Verse G. Let me see what that is. Page 118. This is the way this is the cover of the book, by the way, if you're interested in getting it someday. Verse page 118. I did a series, or I started a series on the parables last year, and I did not complete it, so I'm excited to see what comes. Okay, yeah, it is verse G. So this is, what is this? This is Teachings of the New Kingdom, number 9. Scatter the hair and find Aset is found there. And I just have the last line of this chapter. I'm not sure how. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, well, the verse F and verse G says, Aha insan in asheni ze im or wajit nebet imu ketu arit rapu. Rising up from the place where she was subsumed by the blockage from ignorance, owing to the action of wiping away the impurities, the blockages of dirt and disease from excrement that were there, now I find that Aset, as my third eye, is within my forehead as the cobra goddess of the north, who is the mistress, the fire-spitting cobra, the eye of Ra, the creator spirit, that third eye, HetHeru, that destroys, burns away all enemies of the soul in the form of iniquity of the heart, ignorance, egoistic desires, obstacles to higher vision, and realizing my identity with Ra, the spirit. Wow, that's a lot. So, the thing about the book of HetHeru, yes, it's to be read when someone is passing away or at their memorial. It's also to be read while we're still alive because it contains spells or wisdom or affirmations or teachings that, empower us and strengthen us on our journey to enlightenment or journey of enlightenment. So this next hekau is just that last line. Nebet imu ketu arit rapu. Who is the mistress, the fire-spitting cobra, the eye of Ra, the creator spirit, that third eye, HetHeru, that destroys, burns away all enemies of the soul in the form of iniquity of the heart, ignorance, egoistic desires, obstacles to higher vision, and realizing my identity with Ra, the spirit. So that is the prayer for this chant. My drum. Well, I have this drum, so I'll use this one. Nebet ima ketu arid ra Nebet Imu Ketu Arit Rapu. Nebet Ima Ketu Arit Rapu. Nebet Ima Ketu Arit Rapu. Hold on a second. I see a discrepancy. Page 118. Yeah, it's Nebet Imu. Okay. So let me fix that. Okay, let me start again. Oh, my drum. Nebet Imu Ketu Arit Rapu. 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 Okay, so now I'm going to have you repeat after me. So it's like a call and response. Nebet Imu Ketu Arit Rapu. 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 Now let's sing together. Nebet Imu Ketu Arit Rapu. 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 All right. And the translations once again. Who is the mistress, the fire-spitting cobra, the eye of Ra, the creator spirit, that third eye, HetHeru Hathor, that destroys, burns away all enemies of the soul, Asar, in the form of iniquity of the heart, ignorance, that's ignorance of the divine, which is egoism, egoistic desires, obstacles to higher vision, and remembering my identity with Ra, the spirit. Hatep. All right. Last but not least, because we are observing the time when HetHeru traveled to Kemet. Well, first she traveled to Nubia, and then she had her experience. Oh. She had her experience, and then she traveled back to Kemet. So I learned that the indigenous word, or the Medu word for Nubia is Bahani. It's kind of like Nubia, Bahani, Nubia. There we go. Dua HetHeru in Bahani. Dua Segmet in Kemet. Dua HetHeru in Bahani. Dua Segmet in Kemet. Dua HetHeru in Bahani. Dua Segmet in Kemet. Nukpu HetHeru in Bahani. Nukpu Segmet in Kemet. Nukpu HetHeru in Bahani. Nukpu Segmet in Kemet. Dua HetHeru in Bahani. Dua Segmet in Kemet. Nukpu HetHeru in Bahani. Nukpu Segmet in Kemet. Dua HetHeru in Bahani. Dua Segmet in Kemet. Nukpu HetHeru in Bahani. Nukpu Segmet in Kemet. Hey. Yes, I love that song. I love that HetHeru. It is so powerful, you know, being able to make that transition from HetHeru, and then when you need to, you know, call it out, set boundaries, cut cords, you know, eliminate chaos, eliminate toxicity and negativity. You know, with that sword of Sekhmet, you can make those cuts, sever those ties, whatever, and then bring yourself back to your inner peace. That is so powerful. All right. Dua. Okay, well, that's what I have for you for tonight. I will be back here early in the morning at 6 a.m. for day 3 of this observance, and tomorrow will be the wisdom of creation. As you know, like I said, I'll have a summary and a song. The wisdom of origins, creation. That was not very long, so. And then maybe some impromptu HetHeru will come through. And if you can't make it, see you there. Okay. If for some reason you aren't able to make it, it'll be, the replays are being posted on YouTube. I'm currently going live on TikTok, YouTube, and alternating between melanated people and Telegram. You know, I chose to leave Zuckerberg, to leave Metaverse and Instagram, so I'm just focusing on these platforms. I think you can also go live on Pinterest. They have Pinterest TV now, so I'm going to check that out as well. Anyway, Dua Seba Ma, Dua Seba Ja, Dr. Moana Ashby, Dr. Karen Ashby. If you'd like to get a copy of the calendar, this is the perfect time, because they'll be putting out the calendar for 2022. And even though the Kemetic New Year changes in July, so right now we're in the year, see this says 38,787, but we're in 38,788, and then at the end of December we'll switch to the year 2022, but it'll still be the year 38,788. And interesting thing about December 31st, that's the new year in Western society, which is bizarre because you know, in the north, people of the north, that is the middle of winter. In the south, it's the middle of summer. But even the middle of summer is not the time when life begins. Life begins in the spring. That's when, you know, the seeds fall from the winter. The seeds, well, they fall in the fall off the trees and the plants. In the wintertime, they, you know, hibernate into the soil. And in the springtime, it's when everything is new. It's when things are born again. So, it's interesting how they have December 31st as a new year. But in reality, December 31st is when Sirius culminates at midnight. So it is a time of celebration. It's not really considered a new year, but it is a cycle. So, yes, on December 31st, I will be doing some musical offerings. But for now, I'm tuning off, and I'll see you at 6 a.m. for another edition of Ancient African Adorations. Do it for being here. Your presence is a gift for me. HetHeru. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you so much.